Hey, what's happening, everybody? And welcome to I think this is technically my first live coral sale. How'd you like that sizzle reel? Those are all the colonies that I've been fragging like crazy for this live sale. I don't know. Do you guys dig that music? I don't know. Thought it was kind of cool, kind of dramatic. But listen, thanks for joining. I see some familiar folks here. John Reef of Vermont, man. Thanks. I appreciate the moral support. Reef the sea forever. Scotty Damron, thank you, man, for coming back and watching another live stream. Yeah, there are, I guess, some other live coral shows this weekend. I got the email for Jason Fox's live coral show, so don't run off to his show. This is going to be a lot better. I've got actually WYSIWYG video of not only the frags but the mother colonies. So I got a little sip of sunshine crack right here. It's a double IPA. This is liquid gold, and I hope you guys are going to be doing the same thing, at least sitting back, relaxing, and drinking your favorite beverage. This can also be a little bit of a Q&A. I'm going to be kind of in and out in terms of releasing corals for sale as we kind of scroll through all the different video. But yeah, as you can see on the screen, and please let me know if you guys are if the audio is not good or what have you, but I'm assuming everything technically is okay. It looks okay on this end. So here are the rules of the road. And if you want to check out the detailed rules, then go visit reefbum.com/live sale. You're actually going to be doing the shopping on reefbum.com/shop live sale. That's essentially the WYSIWYG section of my website that I have all of the live sale corals on right now. Thanks, John. Audio is great. And what you're going to see as we go through the video, and essentially when I start playing the video, it's not going to stop. So it's going to be about 45 seconds for each frag, and about the first 30 seconds is going to be video of the actual frag itself, and then the last 15 seconds or so is going to be of the mother colony. And each of these frags is going to have an item number, and you will see that item number on the shop live sale page. So if you are interested in purchasing that frag, make sure you put it in your shopping cart and check out. You must check out. You just can't leave it in the shopping cart because somebody else could snipe it right from you. And you don't want that to happen. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that if you purchase overall for this live sale, and this live sale is going on obviously right now, but I'm going to keep the sale prices, and what I'm offering is 20% off my regular prices. So these sale prices will stay in effect for 24 hours. So you have an opportunity to shop these frags until tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will make that available in terms of the sales prices. So anyway, if your total purchases are over $300, you get free shipping. But if they're under $300, then you need to buy a shipping module, which is $50. Or there's an option to select shipping for frags for under $300, I believe, in the checkout. And yeah, so I mean, you could shop and check out, buy individual frags, and then at the end of the sale, if you feel like you're not going to be going over that $300 mark, then you could buy that shipping module. You don't have to buy it right off the bat. But if you buy less than $300 worth of frags and you don't have a shipping module, I'll be coming after you for that shipping module. We won't be shipping out those frags until we get that $50 for the shipping module. How does that sound? And to avoid paying, only noon in California, but I guess I can crack a beer. Yeah, John, go for it, man. Um, to avoid paying multiple instances of shipping during checkout, select the adding to an order option, and you will not be paying multiple times to ship. And I already talked about the sale prices being good until Sunday, March 14th. Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense? I'm just looking here to see if anybody else has any questions. Maybe we'll give it another minute or two before we kick this thing off. If anybody has any questions besides what's going on here with the live sale, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll wait just another minute or two here. Then we will start rocking and rolling. But I think I mentioned this. I have 92 corals, WYSIWYG corals. Actually, now we only have 91 because I had them up on the site available for purchase just as a little bit of a test. And somebody snagged one. Somebody was being naughty. So now we only have 91. But that's cool. We'll I think we can manage with 91 frags. And I've got plenty of frags for this one that was taken prematurely before the live sale began. Paul UK Reefer. Save me some cash though. All right. Well, I'm assuming, Paul, that you're in the UK, and maybe that's one of the other things I should mention. This is only for the folks that live in the continental United States. Brian, he admits it. He bought the Red Dragon. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. I got so many Red Dragons. So, you know, if you're put something in your shopping cart, or you try to find something that was already purchased, just reach out to me. You could, reach out on the contact form on my ReefBum.com website. I do have multiple frags available, so I'm pretty sure there's some I have limited frags, but a lot I do have multiple frags. So, all right, maybe we should get going here. What do you say? So, I'm gonna start rolling the video, and you're gonna still see me here. And like I said, we could do some Q&A, but let's get this to party started. And the number one item here is a Cali Tort frag, and that's a 2-inch chunk. And my mother colony is 2 feet across, so I got a lot of frags of this one. Mother colony is going to be coming up. There it is. There's the monster. That Cali Tort. All right. Next up, this is an old school classic, Crayola Plana. I think it's how you pronounce it. I'm not exactly sure, but that's a big frag as well, 2 inches, and that's on sale for 56 bucks. I love this coral. It is just so cool. It's so old school, and I think it's a great addition to any tank. It does really well for me. It grows really fast. And you can see the mother colony. There's a lot of green in it, but it's got some awesome, awesome purple tips. Really does. All right, what do we got up next? Forest Fire Digi. Forest Fire Digi. This is 1.5 inches long, and that detail is on the website. Great colors. I love solid color corals in my tanks. And this one is just a brilliant orange with green highlights. I mean, geez, Can't get any better than that in terms of some contrasting colors, in my opinion. That's the mother colony. Yeah, my Cali Tort, some frags have green in them and some don't. It's bizarre. Kryptonite tenuous. This thing grows like a weed for me. It really does. A brilliant green color. Again, another solid color. Coral. Very hardy coral for me. And I got some big chunky frags of this thing. So, yeah. Like I said, if you can't snag one of the frags in the live sale, then I've got plenty of backup for this one. Mother colony, you could see is green coralites, branches. Did I mention it's a fast grower? A Mystic Sunset Montipora. Really, really cool. A bright red with these like purple polyps on it. Another classic. I guess you guys can kind of. This is a theme, right? I have a lot of classic old school corals, and this is one of them. Does really well in terms of encrusting. I've got a few Monties in my tank, and this is one of them. So got several frags of this available. See the mother colony there. It's that's just a tile that I have in my frag tank. I also have it's spreading over a whole bunch of rocks in the frag tank. All right, this is one of my favorite all-time. Well, this is my favorite coral, the Oregon, not Oregon. My hand has been slapped many times by Oregonians. Maybe is that how you pronounce it? This is bright blue. This is a chunky frag. This is an inch long, so it's a little bit bigger than what you would normally get from me. But yeah, I just love it. It's just again another bright color, very contrasting, sharp blue. Can't beat it in my mind. It's a classic. I mean, and look at the here's the mother colony. I've had these things in all of my SPS tanks. Just a sick, sick coral. The Ora Hawkins, another old school classic. Again, brightly colored, turquoise, bottle brush type of coral. Really, just another great coral if you want a splash of color in the reef tank. And my colonies in my my display tank are just going nuts in terms of growth. So I got many frags of this. There's the mother colony that you can see. That's on sale for $40. Just a reminder, you gotta buy those shipping modules if your purchases are under $300. And there's all right. Now we're transitioning to another classic, the Tyree Red Dragon. And again, I've got plenty of frags of this. I just this thing grows like a weed for me, brightly colored, pink. It's like Jake Adams said when I was talking on my show, rapping with ReefBum. You could see this coral from the other side of the room. So it's just a beautiful coral, really cool. And yeah, I got multiples of this. Many frags of the Tyree Red Dragon, but that's the WYSIWYG. There's the mother colony. That's one of my mother colonies. I've actually got two in the in my display tank. All right, next up. Yeah, it's another classic, the ATL Strawberry Fields. This is a 1-inch frag, brightly colored, and it's, you can't see it in this frag, but it does have those strawberry tips. So it depends on where in the colony it is. But when it starts growing out, you're going to get those really cool, and you're going to see it in a shot of the mother colony coming up in a few seconds there. You're going to see the strawberry tips. It kind of like tables for me, which I love tabling type of corals. I don't have this in my display. I've got it in one of my frag tanks. And yeah, it's a great coral again. I just love the colors. So the Sunset Monty. I mean, how kick-ass is this coral? A bright orange with green polyps. I mean, geez, that's quite the contrast. And this was like obviously all the rage years ago, but I guess it doesn't get a lot of attention in terms of the Monty lovers these days. It's not one of those high-end, rare, hot corals. But I mean, geez, how could you go wrong with that coral in terms of the colors and the orange and the green? Just a beautiful, beautiful coral in my opinion. Yes, Saltfish TV, you purchase on the website, reefbum.com/shop live sale. Next up, another classic, the Tubbs Stellata Monty. And again, really pretty cool contrast. You can't see the purple in terms of the branches in this shot right here, but take my word for it, in person, it's a sick purple with those green polyps. It really, really stands out. So, and it grows like a weed for me. So once again, I have a lot of frags of this that if you can't get in the live sale, then reach out to me. What do we got coming up next? Oh, this is a really cool one. This is a rare one. I picked this up from Adam at Battle Corals. It's the Seaquarium Unknown. I don't think Adam has it anymore. And you're going to see in terms of the mother colony, this thing is got a sick growth pattern. It's shaped like a tulip. It's got a thick stalk, and then it's shaped like a tulip. And so you're going to see this in terms of the mother colony. It's wild. And let me tell you, I was I'm trading corals with Jake Adams, and this one caught his eye. And let me tell you also, for $24, that's a steal. So I do have a few frags of this one available, but yeah, that's a really cool coral with purple tips. Walt Disney, yes, I'm growing this out of my frag tank, and the Walt Disney, don't have to really say too much about the Walt Disney. That's a 1-inch frag of the Walt Disney, and yeah, it's a beautiful coral. When you're going to see the mother colony, my mother colony really, and these are all like under 400 watt 20K irradiant bulbs. So these are not blue lights. There is a hint of blue with the 20K irradiant bulbs, but I mean, look at the mother colony right here. That's a top down. And look at that shot. Pretty bitchin' if you ask me. So this is a good opportunity to get this frag on sale for $112. The Jason Fox Bug Out Style. I'm going to say right now, I only have one of these available, and it's a multi-branch. It's not terribly large. It's a 3/4 inch, but it is a multi-branch. Really, really cool stylo. It really is very neat, and yeah. So if you're a stylo lover, this thing is just rocks. That's a top-down shot of it in terms of the mother colony. I like stylos. Stylos are very hardy. Stylos are good to start off a tank with because they can withstand a lot of things. Another classic, the Superman Montipora. I think some folks call this the Tyree Superman Montipora. This is, you know, again, something that I have encrusting in my 187-gallon display. Bright red polyps, and you can't see the blue as much in terms of the, you know, what do you call it? The skin? I don't know what you call that. That's the mother colony right there. I love it. I love to have the different colors in my reef tank. So it's a cool coral, really is. All right, this is a rare one. This is something that you're not going to be able to find a lot of around. The Sanjay's leprechaun's beard. This thing is really, really a neat coral. It's tabling out for me, but it's got like these green polyps and purple branches. You're going to see the mother colony on this thing. It's hard to find. It is a hard to find coral. It's again another old school classic coral. And yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm putting a frag into my new 225-gallon Peninsula tank because I think it's a really neat coral, and I want to have a you know, I want to have a couple of tables in that tank. So if you haven't heard of it, pick it up. It's really, really quite worth it. The Sanjay Milka Stylo. You know, Jake Adams talked about the story on this this frag. It's just beautiful. Again, it's one of those corals when you're looking across the room, you can see it. It stands out. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous purple, and it's a stylo, so it's easy to keep. And I've got it in my main display as well as my frag tank as grow out. It grows as a really, really good clip for me. So, you know, another beauty, really is. All right, what do we got coming up next? If you guys are into the crazy rainbow tenuous stuff, then you know, if you don't have this one, you should pick it up. The Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous. Under the right lighting conditions, these polyps will become pink, or the corallites will become pink and red even. So I've got under metal halides. It's a bitchin' coral. So it's you know, again, for the price, in terms of the sales price, I think it's definitely worth picking this thing up. But I've got in my main display, and I also have grow out. That's a grow out tile that I have in my one of my frag systems. So yeah, it grows at a pretty good clip for me too. But it's just great coloration on this tenuous. All right, so this is I call this a pearlberry knockoff because I was told it was an ORA pearlberry, and for those of you that know that coral, you could tell that this is not an ORA pearlberry, but it's still a really pretty cool coral. It's got these purple tips, and the body is kind of a greenish body. This is a 1-inch frag, so it's neat. I like it a lot, and it's got a little iridescence too, like the ORA pearlberry. I guess maybe that's you know, I did purchase this in person, so I was kind of hornswoggled a little bit. But when I got it back into my tank, I was like, yeah, that's not really the true classic ORA pearlberry. But so it's a pearlberry knockoff is what I'm calling it. All right, the Cali Tort. Again, here's another frag of the Cali Tort. So if you don't have this in your tank, this is an 1.5 inch frag, then I would highly recommend that you pick this one up because it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful purple coral, and depending on the lighting, I guess, in terms of how it looks, but it's just a deep purple. There's the 2-foot long mother colony again. All right, what do we got up next? Another classic Crayola plana. This is another coral that Jake was interested in that I sent to him. So it's a It's old school. It's got beautiful coloration in terms of the contrast and the colors. And the polyp extension, as you can see, for me, the polyp extension in this thing is just off the hook good. I don't know. I dig it. Trying to keep up with the chat here as well. I'll be on the lookout for any questions. Look at that top down. More greenish than purple, you can see, but the purple is definitely there in person. Another tub Stiletto Monte frag. Like I mentioned, I have a lot of this stuff, but it's really cool. It just grows really fast for me. So if you need to fill up some space, then pick up the tub Stiletto Monte. This one is a 1 1/4 inch. Those frags all together are pretty similar in size, but yeah. And if you reach out to me, I could do larger sizes if you wanted on that coral. But I picked this up from an old school reefing buddy of mine, and so he has it in his tank too. Another ATL Forest Fire Digi. This one is 1 1/2 inches long, tall, whatever you want to call it. Again, if you are on the lookout for a splash of color, then this should be on your list. There's the mother colony. I actually got I fragged this thing. I took it out of my display. I've got it now in my frag tank, but still had a couple pieces left over in the display, and now it's grown in another colony on the floor of my tank. That's how resilient this coral is. Another kryptonite tenuous. I picked this up from somebody in the Boston area, and just really is a brightly colored coral. So I don't know. That's what I dig. I dig the colors. That's the mother colony. It also grows like a weed for me too, so I have to frag this pretty aggressively to keep it in check. I do not have it in my display tank. I've got it in one of my grow out tanks, but it's like neon green. Really cool. Here's another Sequarium Unknown. Like I said, this is got a really cool growth pattern on it. And it's under my 400 watt 20K iridiums. It's like a yellow coral. You don't see a lot of yellow corals. It's got really good polyp extension for me. Perhaps this will make it into my new 225 gallon Peninsula tank. It is not in my display tank. You can kind of see the hints of the purple tips right there. Hey Matthew, good to see you too, man. All right, I think this is the first Tyree Icefire Echinata. The first frag I've got there, and this one is 1 inch long. You're going to see in the mother colony, if you're not familiar with this coral, it is so cool in terms of the kind of like the white in the branches and the purple and the blue tips. It's classic. I don't know. I don't see this around that often. So I do have it in my 187 gallon display, and it grows really well for me. There it is. There's a top-down shot of it. Close-up of the polyps. Really neat. Got another Ora Hawkins frag. Bottle brush coral. You know, it's a smooth skin coral, so it can be a little delicate. You know, I would certainly be cautious in terms of when you dip that thing. Don't do a long dip in terms of dipping smooth skin corals. Sometimes they don't react too well. I have 2 different colonies in my 187 gallon display. That's how much I like this coral. Yeah. We've got another. This is the one that Ryan snagged. So, so this one is spoken for already, folks. But like I said, I got so many Tyria Red Dragon frags that if you wanted one, I could easily add one to an order. Easily. Such a cool coral. Really is. Yeah, thanks, Matthew. Yeah, Jason, the Ora Hawkins. It is a classic for sure. All right, what's up next? We have another ATL Strawberry Fields. So you can kind of see the pink tip on this frag. This one is 1 inch, and all the sizes are on the website. So again, if you visit reefbum.com/shop live sale, that's where you can pick up these frags, and you must buy shipping for $50, a shipping module, if your total purchases are under $300. And also, I will extend the sale prices on these frags until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So the sale is good for another 24 hours or so. What's up next? This is a really cool coral. The battle coral is Poor Man's Battle Stag. I picked this up from Adam, so it's not a true battle stag, but it's very purple when you see it from a distance. It's a very purple coral. You can kind of see the greenish branches. It's neat. It really is neat, and it's actually a very popular coral with my customers. I just re-released this coral. I had not been selling it for a while because it just got fragged so heavily, but I do have frags now available, as you can see. Yeah, there's the mother. You can kind of see the real. It's a very purple coral from a distance, and it also has some of those kind of like lighter. I wouldn't say yellowish tips, but it's battle stag like. You can kind of see one of those yellow tips in the foreground there. So this is the another Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous frag. For you tenuous lovers out there, this is actually an inch long. Thanks, John. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's just like like the name says, it's kind of like a rainbow of colors. And when it's happy, it gets like those pink and red tips. So pretty neat, and you can kind of see that in the top-down shot right there. All right, this is the first here for the live show, an Orange Crush Monty, another brightly colored coral. It's an encrusting coral for me, but it also actually plates in my display tank. It plates. It runs out of room and it starts plating out. So, I mean, who doesn't want a brightly colored orange coral in their tank? And I got it growing on a few rocks. It's actually kind of gotten covered up by some other corals. But I don't know. This is a stunner in my book. It's a really cool coral. Totally encrusted, obviously, on the frag disc. It's about 1.5 inches across. Easy to keep. Monties are easy to keep. Ooh, look at that. A multi-branched Walt Disney. Yes, on sale for 128 bucks. I would definitely hop on that if you don't have a Walt Disney. It's cool frag, really is. Yes, if you don't have a Walt Disney, that's a good one to get. There's pictures of the mother. I don't have this in my display, actually. I've been growing it out of my frag tank. What we got up next? Another Mystic Sunset Monty. Really cool, bright red encrusting. If anybody has never had a sip of sunshine, you got to track one down. It is. I actually used to live across the street from the guy who created the Lawson's. Sean Lawson is the brewmaster at Lawson's Finest Liquids. Look it up if you don't know about it. This thing has won awards. It's a double IPA. All right, I don't want to start talking beer here. We can talk beer after the show, maybe. Best pH, I would say 8.1 to 8.4. So this is a another classic. This is a nub. This is a nub of a coral. It's a purple slimer. I admit it's a nub. I kind of fragged this coral, and it was very small. It's only a half an inch, 20 bucks, you know. So, but the purple slimer is another beautiful, solid colored purple coral, and it's a classic. I mean, look at that. That's the it's a stag-like type of coral. If you have the green slimer, it's a great complement to the green slimer. Again, I got it from a buddy who's an old school SPS reef keeper, so I highly recommend it. But if you want to take a shot with 20 bucks, why not? Another Oregon Blue Tort frag. This is an inch long. Brightly colored. I got a nice big colony in my display tank. My favorite coral, hands down, my favorite coral. And I'm putting a frag into the new tank as well. What's coming up next? What's coming up next? Wow, an LPS coral. I threw an LPS coral into the mix. I'm sorry to upset the apple cart here, but I have these. I have this branching hammer. It's a mint green branching hammer, and I fragged it recently. So I got a few frags of this mint green branching hammer. I think I actually originally got it from Aqua SD in San Diego. I bought I bought several frags of it, single heads, and I put them all together because I wanted a colony. And it ended up morphing together, and you could see that's the mother colony right there, and all the individual heads morphed together. They just kind of fused together, which is really neat. And it's I'm actually going to put that colony into the new 225 gallon display tank. I like it that much. Here's another Superman Monty frag. That's 1 1/4 inch. Fully encrusted at a great price. Puddle Aquatics just cracked open a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Cheers. Yeah, cheers. Nothing like having a couple of beers on a Saturday afternoon and watching coral fly by and talking reef, right? There's the mother colony again. So as you can see, I've got multiples of a number of these corals. But my hope in the future is to have more, um, a larger variety of frags. All right, another classic, and this is the only frag I have available, the Tyree Lime in the Sky. It's still growing out for me. Well, I've had this colony for a long time. I've just been fragging it a lot, so it's the only frag I have, the Tyree Lime in the Sky, and can't really see it in this video, but it's got those kind of baby blue tips. It's a great stag if you're into stags. A beautiful green. Another Tyree classic. What do we got coming up next here? Hey, Matthew, thanks for the super chat, man. Can't get any coral right now, but thanks for what you do, Keith. Hey, I really appreciate that. Really, really do. Thanks, dude. Another Cali Torp frag. This one's 1 1/2 inches, chunky. Nice chunky frag of the Cali Torp. If you want something really colorful that can grow fast, that's your coral. Look at that mother colony. That thing is out of control, huh? I really had to do some fragging of this thing a few weeks ago. Chopped off like a 5 or 6 inch branch. Another Sanjay Milka Stylo. Another beautifully colored coral that's a very hardy coral because it's a stylo. And I walked into, I think it was the guy's place that I picked up this frag from, and the first thing that hit me in terms of his tank was that coral. And man, it just was like, wow, it just caught me. Really, it was an attention grabber. How deep purple that thing is. Stunning. Really is stunning colors on it. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate the colors of corals like maybe perhaps in the past. So that's that is obviously, as you could tell, my my thing in terms of colors for corals. Another Jackson's Rainbow tenuous frag. This one's 3/4 inch, and it's on sale for 96 bucks. This one's actually been on a frag plug for a while, so it's encrusted, and you kind of see the you know, the pinkish and the red, the coral lights right there, starting to develop. So if you want an established Jackson Rainbow tenuous frag, then that's a good one to snag right there. What classic is coming up next? What do we got coming up next? Another Tyree coral, another Tyree Icefire Agonata frag, and this one's 1 inch long. So I think all the Icefires that I have in this sale are about 1 inch, pretty similar size. I can't frag anything more larger in terms of the Icefires. They just, in terms of the way the coral branches, unless I really wanted to just hack off a huge section of that coral, which I'm not willing to do because it's in my display tank. I just you know, I can't bring myself to do that. But I mean, look at that. That is bitching in terms of what that colony looks like. All right, we've got another Sanjay's Leprechaun Beard, and this one is multi-branched. So, yeah, I would snag that one if you're looking for one of those Leprechaun Beards. Really, really cool coral. You know, and like you'll see it with the mother colony coming up. It's just, it's great. It's a hairy coral too. I mean, look at the polyp extension on that thing. It's got great polyp extension, tables out, contrasting colors. What more can you ask? What more? Purple tips, too. Do you think I like purple? Yes, I do like purple. An orange Setosa frag. Another classic old school coral. This bright orange. This was all the rage many years ago. I do have a colony in my display tank, but it's kind of gotten covered up a little bit. So I've got multiple frags in one of my frag tanks. But you know, again, another brightly colored coral that if you're looking to paint, you know, a little picture in your reef tank and have a nice palette of colors, then this is one you want to add. All right. All right. First time up here. Another Battle Corals coral. It's a cool no name, is what, when I bought it. Actually, it came in a battle box from Adam at Battle Corals, and it came in as a BC Cool no name. And what you're going to see here, these are like, these frags are tips of the coral. It grows very fast for me. It's it's a large branching coral, but it's got purple tips, but then it's got these cool kick-ass like green stems. So it's really neat. I look at that. Look at the. It almost looks like a tenuous in terms of those kind of rainbow colors right there. But that's my colony that I have in my my frag tank. It's really, look at that. Look at that green. Look at those polyps and the purple polyps and the green stem of that coral. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. I love fuzzy acros and millies myself. All right, we've got the first Sexy Corals Orange Passion frag that is up for sale here. And these are all, well, this one's 1 1/4 inch. So another, you know, frag that grows really well for me in my display tank. It's a beautiful coral. Look at that. There's the mother colony. Great polyp extension on it. Cool yellow polyp. You don't see that too often in terms of the you know, contrasting with the green stems in that coral. So it's pretty. I think it's pretty neat. And if you're looking for a Sexy Corals Orange Passion, that's a pretty good price, I think, for one. Wow, I threw in some zoas. Who would have thought? Me, the SPS nut freak here, having zoanthids for sale. But these, I have a bed of these things growing on the bottom of my display tank. And, you know, they're really cool. Orange centers, green rings on them. Sharon, do I feed these SPS every day? What is the schedule for feeding? I do not feed any real coral food to these corals. I have a little do-it-yourself fish food that I put some reefroids in, but I don't feed it all the time. So I'm not using any aminos or anything like that. Here is another ATL Strawberry Fields frag. Got a few of these in the live sale here. For those of you tuning in late, I have 92 total frags in this live sale. And if you want to purchase, as it says at the bottom of the screen there, visit reefbum.com/shop-live-sale, and you have to purchase a shipping module if your total purchases are under $300. And these sale prices will be good for 24 hours until 3 p.m. tomorrow. So if you are only able to catch the replay, then you get to take advantage of the sale. More zoanthids, radioactive zoas. Again, I have a bed of these growing on the bottom of my tank. Really cool. They're growing all over the rock. They're spreading. They're not harming my SPS, if that's what you're wondering. So it's you know, they grow really well, as you can see. Another bed of zoas. This is my second frag of the mint green hammer. So these are all these hammer corals are frags that are available are single heads, but it's about 2 inches across. Really, really, really hardy. Very hardy coral. Like I said, I'm putting the mother colony into my new 225-gallon Peninsula tank. Pretty cool. It's not a toxic hammer, but it's pretty darn neat if you ask me. Yeah, LPS, right? Here's another frag of those eagle-eye zoas. I have plenty of those frags if you can't snag one in the live sale. Plenty. Really easy to keep. And there's the colony in my display. Yeah, JAH Reef. I do too. Love it. Teal, mint, whatever you want to call it. Here is another pearlberry knockoff frag. I think it's pretty cool. I was duped. I thought it was the real deal pearlberry, but it wasn't. But I am not discriminating. I think it's really neat, and that's why I have it in my tank, and that's why you're seeing it here during the live sale. Pretty cool iridescent branches. Oh, another BC Cool No Name frag. This one's 1 1/4 inches. I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed if you pick this one up. Really, really pretty neat. In terms of just like the purplish ends of that coral, and it branches out. It's kind of like a branching. I wouldn't call it a staghorn. It's got wider branches, which is neat because if you have wider branches in the corals, kind of the fish go through there and all that stuff, and I dig it. I dig it. Look at that. That's so cool. All right. Frag number 4, the Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous. I do have multiples of this, but I think the only frags I'm going to be able to, the only frags I have are for the live sale. Would not be able to cut any more at this point. If you haven't heard of this one and you like tenuous, then it's a good one to add to your collection. If anybody's having any problems in terms of checking out or questions, and just drop some comments. I'm not checking email right now. I'm multitasking. Here we got another Sexy Coral Orange Passion frag. This one's on sale for 120 bucks. That's 1 1/4 inches. And if I didn't mention this before, it grows really well for me in my display tank. And it's kind of morphed together with the Cali Tort. They're intertwined in certain places, but they're not killing each other. So I'm just kind of like leaving it as is. I think it's kind of neat in terms of the contrast with the bright purple of Cali Tort and the yellow and the orange of the Sexy Corals Orange Passion. So here is a another frag for sale for the Tyree Icefire Echinata, old school classic, beautiful contrasting colors on this one, and you can see that in the mother colony. This one's an inch long in terms of that frag size. Look at that. That is neat, isn't it? That is a neat coral. What do we got up next? We have some more radioactive zoas. If you're looking for a bed of zoanthids on your tank, then you've found the right frag here. Bright green centers and a different type of green in terms of the rings on that coral. And there's the bed. There's the bed. I could do really large frags of that if you want. Pretty easy to peel off the bottom. Ah, another Walt Disney frag. Not quite a multi-branch, but it's got a that second branch is sprouting out there, so you got a kind of a head start. Pretty good price on it, $120 sale price. That does definitely has a rainbow of colors on it. And apparently there's a Walt Disney Jr. out there that I have not acquired yet, but looking into it. I do have a home wrecker that is in grow out. So hopefully in the not too distant future I'll be able to offer up some home wrecker frags. But it's doing well, and yeah, I acquired it several months ago. So it's got some time. It still needs to do its thing. Another Cali Tort. This one's a big one. This is 2 inches for $60. Thanks, Insane Reefer. Trying to price these things right. Cali Tort. I had this coral years and years ago. Just struck me when I first got into the hobby. It's just something that's so cool looking. Some of my frags have a green base, some of them don't. You know, in the Muller colony, you don't really see the green in it. Ah, another Crayola frag. How cool is that? That's a big polyp parade going on right there. Just for those of you that don't know, in terms of what I like to keep my tank parameters at, I like to keep my DKH between 8 to 9, magnesium around 1400, nitrates around 2.5, phosphates in the 0.03 to 0.07 range, calcium about 400 to 440. So yeah, I pretty much try to stick to those things, and I don't really feed the corals. Another purple slimer. This one's 1 1/2 inches long. If we're looking for a staghorn that's colorful, snag it. John Easley, Oregon Tort. Am I pronouncing that right? Oregon. I've taken a lot of grief over the years for mispronouncing the Oregon Blue Tort. I say Oregon, and I get crap, boy, let me tell you. Isn't that cool? Look at that stag. purple, for crying out loud. Doesn't slime on me too bad either. Speaking of the devil, Oregon Blue Tort. That's a big one. That's an inch and a quarter for $72. Pretty good deal, I think. Bright blue. I don't know. I would say it's the most striking coral in my tank. When you walk by that tank, that thing just really, it's a head turner. I don't know if it gets a lot of love these days. You know, it's not like one of the new in corals in terms of one of those crazy names. Another kryptonite tenuous frag. That's 1 1/2 inches long. Bright green. Bright green. Multi-branch. As you can see from the mother colony there, very green. Anthony, well, you know, perhaps for the next live sale you can save up some cash. This is a multi-branch BC cool no name. You know my feelings on this one. Pretty cool in terms of the purple and the green contrasting colors in this coral. With some other corals with some other colors in between, I believe. Good for you, John. Such a cool coral. Should have a name, but yeah. I like the no-name moniker. There's another well-encrusted sunset Monty frag. Talked about this before, but if you're looking for something in terms of some brightly colored, contrasting colors, and you're into the Monties and encrusting corals, I mean, they don't really do a lot of damage, you know, to my corals in the tank. I've got this in the tank, and it doesn't like encroach on any of my SPS. It's pretty mellow. Or you could put it on a rock that's not attached to the main reef if you're worried about that sort of thing, but I'm not really terribly worried about it. I've been living with it. Got another Tyree Icefire Echinata. Another 1-inch frag. So Insane Reefer, I'm hoping every few months, maybe once a quarter or something like that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm digging this stuff. It's a lot of work to prepare, that's for sure, because it's definitely not easy to shoot these WYSIWYG videos and get updated pictures of the mother colonies and stuff. But you know, I'm trying to like be as real as possible in terms of presenting these corals as the way I see them in person, not trying to doctor them up with Photoshop. A lot of enhanced colors. Really, what you're going to get in terms of what you're seeing in the live sale is the real deal, realistic. That's the word I'm looking for, realistic. ATF is in the house. Superman Monty. Another ATL Strawberry Fields frag, and this is a big one. It's 1 1/2 inch multi-branch. Neat coral. I mean, look at that green fluorescence color. Another attention grabber for sure. And there's the strawberry tips on this coral when it grows out, and it's tables. It's a tabling type of coral. At least it tables for me. So I like it a lot. Here's another Sanjay's leprechaun's beard. As I mentioned before, this is not an easy coral to find. There's not a lot of them around out there, from what I can tell. But it's hairy. It's multicolored, purple and green. It's sort of like a table. How could you go wrong? Yeah, insane reefer. It's a good. And it grows fast for me too. So I could probably get some extra frags of that thing after the live sale. But it's neat. This is the last frag I have of the Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous for sale. Again, this is an encrusted frag, so it's been cut. It's been sitting on that frag plug for a while. It is only 3/4 inches long, but it's well established and happy. Good polyp extension. And there's the Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous Mother Colony. A rainbow of colors. I've got this under, I don't know, it's about 250, 300 par, my frag tank grow up. Here's another Orange Crush Monty frag. Very well encrusted. It's mellow. It does not piss off any other corals that it's butting up against or encrusting next to. And it's super colorful. There's a mother. And like I mentioned, this thing actually plates out for me. Kind of cups out a little bit. It's cool. When it runs out of room, it just goes for whatever it can in terms of the light. Another Walt Disney. This is the last frag I have of the Walt Disney available on the live sale here. That's an inch long. So if you're looking to add that tenuous to your collection, it's been fragged and sitting there on that plug. I took these videos a few weeks ago, so these are all ready to rock and roll in terms of shipping. Reef the Sea Forever. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think you'll be happy. Another orange Setosa frag. Brightly colored, hardy. It's a Montipora. I've had that coral for many, many, many years. I had it in my old 225-gallon tank back in Connecticut. I just dig it. I like it a lot. So I have it in my 187-gallon tank as well. Thank you, Reef the Sea Forever. Oh, we got another mint green hammer frag that's up for sale right here. As I mentioned, this thing, I just recently fragged that colony. Very, very hardy, really cool. It's been growing at a good clip for me, and I think it's a good hammer coral. Branching hammers, I believe, are the only way to go. Those wall hammers can be very difficult to keep. I've never had any success keeping wall hammers, so I've always gone with branching hammers. And yeah, even like the toxic wall hammers, I would stay away from. They look awesome, but they're tough to keep. I've never had any luck, but perhaps others have done well with them. Another BC Poor Man's Battle Stag. Another neat purple coral. And again, this is a coral that I had not been offering for sale for a while. Just had been doing a lot of fragging. It was very popular with my customers, but I've got a couple of frags here in the live sale. Yeah, Anthony, in terms of my digitata, I don't get a lot of encrusting on them as well either. So I think it depends on the species of digi, but they don't really encrust a lot for me. So I wouldn't worry about it. Another Sanjay Milka Stylo. Great one. If you're into stylos or not into stylos, I highly recommend this coral. It's really cool. You need some corals that are you know, on the hardy side and that are easy to keep and that can grow at a good clip. And this does grow at a good clip for me. And it's colorful. And it's colorful. How could you argue with that? There's another Tyree Red Dragon frag. So if you were like interested in the one that Ryan like snagged before the show, here's your chance to get another Tyree Red Dragon frag. But like I said, I have plenty of these. Plenty. I could do larger sizes too, so you just reach out to me at reefbum.com on the contact form. Or drop a comment in the live stream. I should be able to see that. Yeah, Reef the Sea Forever. I love stylos too. There's like a bright pink stylo that I had many, many, many years ago that I have not been able to find, but I am on a mission to find that coral. It's just bright pink. It's so awesome. Like a cat's paw. Super pink type of coral. If anybody out there has a super pink, bright stylo, please let me know. Please. Here's another Crayola frag. This one's pretty neat. 1 1/2 inches long. 1 1/2 inches long. Multi-branch. Red Dragon, I have that all over the place. I've got it in spots. It's getting a lot of par. I've got it in spots. It's not getting a lot of par. It just doesn't seem to matter. It seems to grow faster, obviously, when we get more par, but yeah. For me, it's pretty resilient coral and not terribly demanding in terms of requiring specific things. Here's another Sexy Corals Orange Passion frag that's on sale. This one's a 1 1/4 inch long. I've had that coral for many years. Many, many years. Great polyp extension on it too. Strawberry fields, mid to high part of the tank is what I would say. Another purple slimer frag that is up for sale, and this one's 1 1/4 inch. Little second branch, maybe third branch sprouting off on there. Good size frag. There's the mother colony. I do get some good polyp extension on that coral as well. Beautiful staghorn. Another orange setosa frag, multi-branch. That's about an inch in terms of the longest branch, but it is multi-branch. I'll mention it again. I've got we're getting near the end. Got 92 corals for sale right here, and if you're interested in buying one of these, then visit reefbum.com/shop live sale. And you need a shipping module if your total purchases are under $300, or I'll track you down if you don't buy one. And the sale prices that you see during this live stream will be good for another 24 hours until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. As a reminder. Here is another ATL Forest Fire Digi. This is my one of my favorite Digis in terms of the contrasting colors that you get. Reef the Sea Forever. Yeah, good call, man. That's stylo. I'm assuming you're talking about the Sanjay Milka stylo. That's a nice addition. Yeah, but yeah, ATL Forest Fire Digi. I mean, look at that contrast. Orange and green. How could you go wrong? How can you go wrong? Here is another Pearlberry knockoff frag. It's a chunky one, multi-branch, 1 1/4 inches. Yeah, good. You'll be happy with that. Reef the Sea Forever. Gonna love it. But and this Pearlberry knockoff is also very hardy for me. It grows pretty aggressively, pretty quickly. So it's a good one if you're just starting up a tank and starting to add some more demanding SPS. This is one I think can kind of like withstand some not optimal conditions. This is the last frag I have available, the Seaquarium Unknown. And like I mentioned, this is something that I traded with Jake Adams with. He was into this thing, and just the shape on it, and it's yellow. How often do you see yellow Acropora? They're out there. I used to have a yellow Humulus way back when, and it was so popular. But I have never seen this kind of shaped coral before. In terms of the tulip type of shape of the branches. So, and again, for the price, $24, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. And it's, you know, it'll develop some purple tips there as well. Another Oregon Blue Tort. This is the last frag I have available in the live sale. But I have a lot of these that not fresh, not they would be fresh cut. I would have to cut them. So I only cut 4 for the live sale. So this is the last one I have for the live sale. But this is a coral that grows pretty well for me, and I do have a decent amount of frags that I can cut for that as well. So next up is another ORA Hawkins frag. You know, I said it before, I'll say it again. It's it's brightly colored, it's aqua. And it grows really fast for me. It really grows fast. The 2 colonies in my tank, I'm constantly fragging. So, and I like bottle brushes. I like the bottle brush look. And it's just like this solid teal aqua color. Really neat. All right, what do we got next up? This is the last Tub Stellata Monte frag that I have available in the live sale there. But I can cut plenty of these frags, so if you want to reach out to me after the live sale, I have plenty of this stuff available. Plenty. But if you're looking for a really hardy coral that can withstand a lot of different types of conditions in your tank, it's a monopora. So it can hold up to a lot and take a lot of abuse. Thanks, Sharon. I really appreciate that. Really do. That's the last frag I have available in the live sale, and actually probably for a while for the ATL Strawberry Fields. That's a bit of a nub. So I don't like to cut a lot of nubs, so that was probably like a mistake again. That's only a ½ inch. But as you can see, it's doing well, so it's a good frag to pick up at a decent price if you're into that coral. And I'm into that coral. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. This is another frag of the Sunset Monte. Well encrusted, very well encrusted, 1 1/4 inches across. Been in my frag tank for a very long time. This is a clearance sale. It's price is being slashed from $30 down to $24. That's actually 24%, so I'm not being a cheapskate in terms of the sales prices here. All right. And the second to last coral that we've got are some more zoas. Zoanthids, the eagle eyes. That's a lot of polyps right there, so it's a good chunk in terms of that frag. And yeah, it's pretty darn happy in my tank. Pretty darn happy. I have a lot of alveopora in my main display tank, and I actually just fragged up a red alveopora, and I was hoping to include it in the live sale. But those frags are still recovering, and I hope to include that in the next live sale. So I'm going to include some red alveopora that are super hardy, and then I also fragged up some Duncan corals that we're not ready for prime time yet. So that'll be in my next live sale. But you know, I'm growing out some neat stuff, and I'm just going to be continuing to add to my collection. The 225-gallon tank was really the purpose of that was, well, not only to have another awesome fish tank in my basement here, but to also act as a grow-out tank for more colonies. So you know, the plan is to continue to expand the collection and to do more of these live sales down the road. I've had a lot of you know, fun doing this. I've definitely been a bit of a juggling act in terms of trying to keep the what's going on in the chat and managing the live stream, but I don't know. I got through it. made it through to the end of the sale here, and yeah. Well, listen, if you guys have any questions, more questions for me, I'm happy to stay on and answer those questions. Hang out. I'm still working through my beer. I've been nursing this thing for the last hour and a half. You know, I'll remind you that I will be extending this sale for until tomorrow at 3 p.m. So if you want to take advantage of the sale prices, then you can do so. So whatever was not snagged during the live sale, then they will still be on the website at reefbum.com/shop live sale. And I also have another section on the website that just for pretty much all the frags you saw, the mother colonies, I could do fresh cut stuff. And if you want to reach out to me and see whether or not I can cut larger sizes of certain frags, then go for it. You could do that by going to the reefbum.com, the contact section of the website. So yeah, reef the sea forever. Haven't had a hammer in a while. Yeah, this will be a hardy hammer for you. It's a good one to put in the tank and should do pretty well. How long do new frags need to acclimate, in your opinion? Well, Anthony, I always recommend starting out putting new frags down in the bottom part of the tank. All these frags that were on the live sale were under 400 watt 20K radiant bulbs with the supplemental T5s. Well, that's in the main display tank. In the frag tanks, I just had the 400 watt 20K metal halides, and so I always recommend acclimating things slowly in terms of the lighting conditions. All these corals are under about 250 to 350 in terms of the par. And what I'll usually do when I bring in new frags into my display tank, I will put them on a frag rack and start them off in the bottom of the tank, and then over a week, I will slowly raise them up into the water column. So if there's some corals that I know that are like the low light, I will not do that with them. I'll just kind of plant them at the bottom of the reef tank. But if there's other corals that like the higher light, then I'll slowly acclimate them by raising them up into the water column. So it just depends. If you've got much higher par in your tank, then you might want to make it a slower acclimation process. But yeah, so that would be my advice with that. Stability Reef, can you give some pro tips on polyp expansion? Number one, just make sure you don't have any fish in the tank that are potential nippers. So there's some pygmy angelfish that could potentially impact polyp extension. So that would be like the number one thing. Just make sure you don't have any. Some people have angelfish in their tanks with a reputation for nippers, and they don't mind, that they don't have the great polyp extension. I've had some angelfish in my tanks over the years, and regal angelfish, and I've been pretty lucky in that regard. But I think I just stick to the basics in the sense of success with keeping SPS, and those basics are stability. Have stable parameters, especially stable alkalinity. That's always been the key for me. I think you also don't want to starve your corals. As I mentioned, I don't really actively feed my corals, so I just feed the fish, and I do have a homemade fish food that's got some coral food in it that I'll feed on occasion, but I don't feed aminos. So I shoot for nitrates in the 2.5 to 5 range, and phosphates in the 0.03 to 1 range. I like my DKH in the 8 to 9 range, my calcium in the low 400s, magnesium about 1400. I also recommend having good random flow in the tank for good polyp extension. I don't think you want to have just constant direct flow on corals, but if you can have random surges, I use the MP40s on my tanks, and I also have some MP60s on my new Peninsula tank. So that's certainly important. You know, lighting is key too. Got to have good, strong lighting to kind of encourage that polyp extension. I do have metal halides and T5s, but I'm switching to LEDs for the new tank. So I think those are all factors. Yeah, Reef to Sea Forever. No acro power. I always seem to get cyano or problematic algae when I try to dose aminos. Matthew, I think I answered that question right in terms of what I keep nitrates and phosphates at. John, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks for tuning in and joining the live sale. This was a lot of fun, and I will reach out to all the folks that placed orders, and we'll figure out a time in terms of when to ship. I'm pretty flexible on shipping. You know, I do live in Vermont, so it's sometimes the weather will be challenging in terms of shipping, in terms of temperature and snow. But I'll also be make sure in terms of on the recipient's end that the weather will be okay. So yeah, we'll be flexible. And one thing I always recommend in terms of shipping, if you can, is I use UPS. I always recommend having your frags held at a UPS customer center, because that way the frags will not be getting bounced around in a truck longer than they have to be. And also during COVID, I had stopped my frag sales for a few months because I had some issues with the overnight shippers, and they're not guaranteeing overnight shipping right now like they were before. So things are kind of showing up maybe a couple hours later than they were in the past. So I would strongly encourage anybody that placed any orders that, and we could always switch it out, but I would strongly encourage anybody to try to have the corals delivered to a UPS customer center. That's what I do. When I have corals come in, of course I live in rural Vermont, and we're not near any big metropolitan areas, so I have to travel. But that is what I do in terms of receiving corals and fish. I have them held. If I didn't, then it would be many, many hours later that they would arrive. And yeah, who knows in terms of what kind of condition they would be in. And I always try to optimize the circumstances when receiving and shipping corals. That's kind of been my philosophy. Filter socks or floss? Do you run a skimmer? If so, AC or DC? Which skimmer? Thanks, Matt. I always been using filter socks, and I've never used floss. And my understanding with floss is that you have to have lower flow, which is something that would not be. I wouldn't be crazy about having lower flow, because I like to have my return pumps provide pumping power inside of my tanks, because I like to have strong circulation inside of my my reef tanks. So to give up pumping power inside of the sump and the return pumps to the display would be problematic for me. Not to say that people with floss don't have kick-ass tanks. I've seen them, and they're great. But I use 2 return pumps on my display tanks because I really like to. I also do have a lot of recirculating pumps. I mentioned the MP40s and MP60s, but I do rely heavily on my return pumps to provide flow into the display. and that's why I would not probably use floss. The Herm 14. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. Insane Reaver talking about aminos. My zoas seem to keep closed when dosing aminos. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, does anybody else have any other questions? I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. This was pretty cool. Spent a Saturday afternoon with a beer, talking reef, and yeah, getting to empty the frag tank a little bit. That certainly helps. So I really appreciate that, and I just want to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank the folks that made some purchases. Like I said before, they will still have some time to do that in terms of taking advantage of the sales prices. And once the sale is over next tomorrow at 3 p.m., whatever's left will be available in my WYSIWYG section of the website, so you can pick up these frags as well. Have any experience, Lucas Aragon? Is that how I pronounce it? Have any experience with the custom lid manufacturers? If so, any suggestions? No, I don't. I don't use lids on my tanks. And unfortunately, one of my flame hawkfish jumped out of the 187-gallon tank. It was such a bummer. But I like the open top tanks. I like to. I'm kind of lazy in the sense that I like when I want to get my hands on the tank, I don't want to have to worry about moving the lid away and that sort of thing. I did purchase a mesh screen top for my tank, but I just never had the heart to use it. I just didn't want to put it on the tank. I didn't like the look of it. So it's still sitting in the container. So if anybody is looking for a mesh lid that would fit a 5 foot long by 2 foot wide tank, then reach out to me. Matthew, ever since I set up my reactor, it hasn't worked. Been 3 months. I have 40 parts per million nitrates, but no phosphates. Is no phosphates an issue? Yeah, you would want to. A good thing to shoot for is 100 to 1 ratio of nitrates to phosphates. There is the Redfield ratio of 16 to 1, but I think it's an easier way to figure it out. Is you want to kind of shoot for a 100 to 1 ratio in terms of nitrates to phosphates. So you could do the math on that one, but you want to have phosphates in your tank. Do you I guess the question is, do you have any problematic algae that's sucking up all that phosphate? That would be the question. All right, folks. Well, listen, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning into this live sale, and I will definitely be back in a few months with another one, because I know I'm going to be doing a lot more fragging for the current established tank. So this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Portal Aquatics. Yeah, everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Stay safe, be well, and I'm gonna have another live stream, rapping with ReefBum. If you haven't tuned into that live stream, I'm gonna have Remy from Bahama Llama Coral on next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be a fun conversation. I'm looking forward to it. So until then, be safe, be well, and we will see you next time. Adios.